What's going on? There it goes. All
There
right.
it goes.
That was a long pause. Okay, let's see how long it
It
takes
was
these
so
Facebook ones.
awkward.
Yeah, it's like, are we falling apart here? There we go. All right, we made it. Welcome in, guys. It is 7:33 a.m. Thursday morning, June 2nd. Means it's time for an episode of Broncos for Breakfast. I am Nick Kendell, and joined by, as always, co-host and friend Scott Kennedy. Scott, how you doing this fine June morning?
I'm doing just fine. Doesn't quite feel like June yet. It's still spring weather.
Yeah,
But we're already in June. I mean, the days are coming fast.
yeah.
I feel like the first preseason games are in July now, so season's right around the corner. It'll be here before we know it.
Yeah, we are 98 days now until the regular season kickoff. 93 days until Iowa Hawkeye football, but who's counting, right? Let's say hello to some people coming in here on this fine Thursday morning. Actually, pretty nice here to start off the day in Seattle. A little hazy, but that's okay. Ethan coming in saying good afternoon, gents and Broncos country. Good afternoon to you, Ethan. Hope you're doing well, and hope everything's going well on your side of the pond. Sunny days coming in with the nerdy glasses guy, coffee cup, and the hang loose. Maybe is that supposed to be me? I don't know what's going on there. Am I projecting? What's going on, Sunny Days? Hope you're doing well. Good morning to you. We have Clee coming in saying, is Browning responsible for the gas prices? Browning's responsible for there you go. There it is. That looks exactly right. You have to hold the coffee mug though in sequential order. It has to be that way.
All right. Well, we're gonna act out the emojis then. All right.
Oh man, you
Let's
guys,
see. So
we need some dancing
it
hippo
was the
ones.
other hand. Wait, it was nerdy guy.
Coffee and then
mug.
hang loose. There you go. You nailed it. Perfect. God, keep sending those in, guys. But only as supers. If they're supers, then we'll do it. Clay coming in saying, is Browning responsible for the gas prices? I think he's responsible for the gas prices. Newton's
I blame
second
Fangio.
law. There we go. That's the good one. Mike Givens coming in saying, good morning, Nick and Scott and Broncos for Breakfast fans. Go Broncos. Good morning to you, Mike. Hope you're doing well. We got JCBYO coming in saying, good morning, Nick and Scott and Broncos country with the coffee mug. Good to see you. US Dave's in the house. Go Broncos. Nicholas Illusion saying, good morning, y'all. EJ is in the house too, saying, good morning, Nick and Scott and Broncos country. Rob Bucksbaum, good morning, Nick and Scott, my favorite MHH team. That's nice of you to say, Rob. We appreciate that. It's really nice of you. How would you rank the importance of the upcoming deals? So the impending free agents, I believe is what he's saying, for Russell Wilson, Bradley Chubb, DJ Jones, Jerry Jeudy, etc. Well, etc. makes it so we're talking about the entire team, right? So let's just talk about these guys on here. Seems pretty obvious to me. Number one is Russell Wilson. You still have years of control left on him, which is great. But I think you're going to see him get a contract after this season. I really hope he goes the Tom Brady route. And this is just me being a selfish Broncos fan. But listen, Russ, you have a lot of money and you married also into money. You guys are going to be fine. So maybe instead of thinking, I have to make the most money possible on this deal against the salary cap, maybe I'm thinking I'm going to make more money long term and by helping my brand. So maybe I'll take a little bit less to ensure that my team is better. So that way I can get that right tackle. So that way I can get that additional wide receiver and give myself a better chance to win Super Bowls, increase my legacy, et cetera, et cetera. I know that's a pipe dream, but I'm hoping for that. So Russ, number one, then Bradley Chubb, then Jerry Jeudy, then it's Draymond Jones. Duh. It's okay. It's honestly in that order for me. Russ, Chubb, Draymond Jones, and Jeudy.
So for most likely to least likely to get new deals, Russ is far and away number one for me. Yeah. I would say Jeudy next, Jeudy or Draymond next, and then Chubb last. I could flip a coin right now on whether Chubb is. I would actually go 40-60 that he's even back with the team next year. I think we did this the other day, Nick. You asked, does he come back? My answer was, no. If I have to guess right now, I don't think Chubb's a Denver Bronco next year. Yeah. But, we'll see. People don't like taking pay cuts. So he's going to have to step up to earn the 14 or so that he's making this year. And you're not going to franchise him unless he goes out and has 20 sacks. Okay. If he does, great. Get him $25 million on a one-year deal. That'd be great. He might not like it, but, again, prove it for more than once. Draymond is a priority. So Draymond should be a priority. So I'd probably go Russ, Draymond, and then Jeudy, and then Chubb for guys most likely as far as the priority going down the line.
Yeah, I'm manifesting a great season from Bradley Chubb. Seeing him, jolt, and it's just OTAs. It's some reps, but man, when he's healthy, he's a really damn good pass rusher, and the power that he brings and just tenacity, he can be a good one for this team. So obviously, are they banking on him? Seems like no, given some of the moves that we've seen here. But uh, alas, we'll see how it plays out. We're hoping for the best for Chubb. He could be one of the biggest catalysts of this entire season for the Denver Broncos.
Well, and going real quick, so Holy Diver says more than 2 minutes late, and we all get free Broncos jerseys. Okay, let me know where to get in line, and I'll go get mine too.
Yeah.
But Tommy on the Chubb thing, Tommy says, could he be on Chubb? Could he be a tag and trade candidate? I don't think so. If he's worth a tag and a top 5 salary, it means he earned it, and you want to keep him.
Yeah.
Unless he's so pissed off that he got tagged that he wants to move. But I don't think he's got the production underneath his belt that it would be something like Devontae Adams, where he's got a track record of 4 or 5 years that he'd be worth $100 million contract, 4 years, $100 million to somebody else. So I think if you tag him, it's because he earned it this year and you want to keep him and show him and do it again. Unless he does it and says, I won't play on this, that's the only way that happens. So I just talked myself into a big circle. If you tag him, he had a good season and you want to keep him. If he's a trade candidate, it's because he wants to force a move because he doesn't want to play on a 1-year deal.
Yeah. I'm just hoping for the best for him because he is one of the biggest pieces for the Broncos this season. If Bradley Chubb plays like a top 10 or 15 edge rusher, your defense is probably going to be top 10 or 15 itself, given the other pieces around it. Last year, he was not himself, but his rookie year, he had a pretty damn good season. And also 2020, he was pretty good as well. So hopefully he is healthy because he's never going to be Von Miller. He's not Myles Garrett. He's not, Chase Young. He's not that caliber of edge rusher. There's a reason he went 5 overall, not 1 or 2. But still can be one of the better pass rushers in the league if he's healthy. But man, that if is carrying a lot of weight because it's just not been the case to this point in his career, at least consistently enough. XOXO, Mr. X, and Dr. Science. I feel like that could be me and my wife, Mr. X and Dr. Science. We have a super sticker coming in here. I'm not sure what the super sticker is because it says just super sticker for us. But thank you, regardless, for the $1.99 super. We really appreciate you getting the ball rolling for us this morning in that regard. And make sure you guys are getting those in because apparently we're going to be sending people out to, or people are going to be coming out to celebrate with us at one of the games. So hopefully I can be there at the game. It might fall on a wedding for me.
The meet and greet's supposed to be like one of the prizes, and we'll hear more from it. Well, Chad, it's actually going to be just a quick announcement. It's actually going to be me and Zach tonight. Chad has a family obligation, so tonight on Huddle Up. But next time we see Chad, he will, and maybe Zach will explain it what the new incentive is for the giveaway for June for Facebook stars and super chats. But it's going to involve like a VIP package for the meet and greet type of thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's that'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully you can get out to there, but I did not have much of a conversation of when that's going to be. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to be there week 1 though. So if you guys are making the trek out to Seattle, and let me tell you, September 12th, that's a beautiful time in Seattle. So if you're going to come out here, August and September, like believe me, that's when you want to come.
So Luke comes in, says, good morning, Nick and Scott in Broncos country. And if we didn't say hi to Ethan, I want to also make sure to say, I'm pretty sure we did. I wanted to say thank you for the super thanks. We missed Ethan yesterday, and he came in and dropped a super thanks, which is possible to do after the fact. We certainly see it. We certainly notice it, and it certainly helps. So thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate it. And also we have Dave Glassman coming in with the hearts here. Good to see you, Dave. Tommy Simmer saying Broncos for breakfast rocks. You rock, Tommy. Thank you very much.
Doubling in on Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, thank you, Tommy. Daniel J. Height coming in saying hello from Florida, Fort Myers. Good to see you. Philip in the house. Philip Hagginson. Good morning, guys. I don't have my pronunciation up to snuff. That might be Nordic. I'm not sure. Lawrence coming in with these stars. Thank you so much, Lawrence. Saying top of the morning to you, fellas. Ooh, we got a little Irish in us today. March was a bit ago, Lawrence, but I hope you're well. Thank you so much for the support and the stars.
Yep. Thank you, Lawrence. Top of the morning to you as well. And Travis coming in also. Yeehaw, let's ride. Just heard Nick Wright bashing our Broncos country. What a hater. I couldn't tell you who Nick Wright is, honestly. I really couldn't. I don't care.
Yeah.
It can make for decent content, to say, oh, so and so says so and so about so and so. But I don't care. I don't
Yeah.
care who Nick Wright is. So he hasn't come across my timeline enough to really even know if he's worthy of listening to. So far, it sounds like no. So I don't know. I don't care. So glad you enjoy it. Sometimes people make a lot of money to go out there to stir the pot. It's just not my type of content.
Yeah. Nope, not here for the shit takes. That's just it's other people can enjoy that, whatever, it's fine. But you're absolutely right there on that one. We also have Michael Ronquillo coming in saying good morning, Nick and Scott on Broncos for
Good morning,
breakfast.
Michael.
Michael, yeah, good to see Michael down there in Tucson. Good morning, Broncos country. Go Broncos. John Fields in the house too, saying hello from Baltimore.
Baltimore,
Go,
nice.
good day, fellas. Go Broncos.
And
And you had
Travis
another
coming
one.
in, and we
There we go.
saw the stars. I wanted to hit this anyway, just because I like the comment, sticking with the Chubb, and then he came in with some stars after the fact. No problem, Travis. Appreciate the support. It says, good morning, Nick and Scott in Broncos country. Hey, Scott, seen the Falcons bringing out the red helmets from the 70s, modernized, of course. They actually had the red helmets until Jerry Glanville came in. I don't remember if that was 1990 or whatnot, but they had those for most of their existence. They look sharp. They really do. I like the different. The red is just different than the black. It seems like everybody went black. And the red ones, they do look good. But is the Browning move to edge because of the uncertainty of Gregory and Chubb and remaining healthy, or is it because they feel that is the better fit for the defense? So that's kind of going to be the topic of our discussion tonight. And we'll definitely get into several reasons for that. But part of it is, Chubb was talking, we know Chubb has had injury troubles. We know Randy Gregory isn't completely healthy. The other part of this is we know Baron Browning battled injuries a little bit last year. And he talked about that yesterday at the podium, saying, I came in late basically and missed the, he called it, the callousing of your body, which is basically, which I've never heard that before, but obviously that was a term, the way he said it, because he was like, as they say. That makes sense. You condition, you get yourself into game speed, and you work out all those little niggles, and you basically toughen yourself up. Instead, he was getting all those little nicks and injuries during the season, and it held him back. So you start looking at all those, and that was kind of the point I wanted to make, Nick, when you were talking about Bradley Chubb. It's like, hopefully with all of these bodies, there's enough talent there. You can piece together at least 2 healthy edge rushers every week.
Yeah, no, you should be able to do that with enough bodies there, but a lot of injuries. So we'll see who's left remaining there. Scotty J saying, let's hope Russell Wilson's effect reaches Chubb this year. That would be great. Also, this is what we were going for when we started this show. We'll be listening, about to start my morning drive. Awesome. Well, make sure you keep your eyes on the road, and at the stoplights, maybe you can participate in the chat. No, just be safe. Be smart. Don't break any laws. We don't want that. PD Swag come in and also saying, good morning, Broncos country. Good to see you. Also, Tommy came for me in a second. He said, Nick has a bit of TMZ in him. What? Then he's Nick Wright. Okay, good. I was a little offended there for 1 second, just 1 millisecond. I'm like, oh man, I didn't know what happened.
Here it was Feinbaum. I always said, who was the talk show host where they'd get people to see, the
Jim Rome,
the white trash show host where they try and get everybody to fight at the end.
Oh, Maury.
It was before. It wasn't Maury. It was the other one though.
I don't know.
Maury, but either way, it was like, that's just the shock jock thing. Just, it's not my thing.
Jerry.
Yes, it was Jerry Springer.
Jerry Springer.
That's who I was thinking. It was Jerry Springer.
Yep.
And they make a lot of money trying to appeal to the dregs of humanity. That's not for me. So, Nick, whoever. Nick is Nick Kendell.
Well, I'm the people's Nick. I like to think of that. So it's a community here. But Gabe coming in saying, morning, lads. Good to see you. Also, PD Swag saying the fact Scott doesn't know who Nick Wright is actually totally awesome. He's a jump. Yeah, that's there we go. Also, we got C. Patrick Havner coming in here with these stars. Thank you so much, C. Patrick Havner. We appreciate you. Always coming in consistently for us. You are not Jacob Foster as the silent one, but you're the quiet one, maybe. So we appreciate you, C. Patrick. Sure. Mark Schrader. Hopefully everything's going well in your world, Mark. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for the support and stars. And I see orange flashing here with the Euro symbol in front of it, man. I'm not going to get that one wrong anymore. It says BFB Vanner has all 3 of the top.
Pounds. You just got it wrong. That's an L, not an E.
Did I say Euro? Okay, pounds.
It's closer to the L. It's a pound. Yes. Straight E is euros.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not going to get it wrong as I get it wrong.
That's unbelievable. That's
I know. I sympathize.
Oh man. Too bad my wife wasn't here to see that because she'd got a kick out of that. Broncos for Breakfast banner has all three of the top three on PFF, and 4 out of the 5 just need Bulls in for Hamler.
Or Hamler step ups to become one of the top 5. How about that?
Yeah, that'd be big. I see what he's talking about here. Yeah, Hamler this season being number 1, living up to his jersey number would be incredible, but it'll probably be Bulls. I think more likely. Scott, we want to talk about that for a second since Ethan kind of led the witness on this one. So yesterday, Luke and I talked about Pro Football Focus had an article where they listed the top 3 most important players or best players on the roster for every single team. And they listed the Broncos' top 3 were, of course, Russell Wilson, followed by Patrick Surtain II, and then Justin Simmons with honorable mention for Cortland Sutton and Garrett Bowles. Do you have any thoughts on that? Anybody missing? Would you have picked the same exact 3 or anybody that deserves to be highlighted?
I might have gone Javonte Williams. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, here's what's interesting to me, because I saw this with the Colts also. Quentin Nelson was ranked, I think, 29th at guard by PFF, yet they chose him as one of the Colts' top 3 players, way ahead of people they had graded higher. So even PFF tells you, take our rankings and grades with a grain of salt. As I've said before, who's grading the graders? I've run national teams. It's impossible to have a uniform standard because there's bias. And bias is always used in a negative connotation, and it's not. Bias is what makes us who we are. That's what makes up our personalities. Recognizing and accounting for your bias is how you try and become neutral.
Yeah.
Now, some people grade differently. Everybody grades differently. Some are easy graders, some are tough graders. So trying to do that across every player in the NFL is literally impossible. So even PFF is telling you, hey, take our grading with a grain of salt, use the eye test. We're going to use objectivity here to say, hey, he's one of the best players, even if our grading didn't say he was. That's long story to get around to saying that's what they just told you about Pat Surtain also. Because Pat Surtain was about 40 in cornerbacks and was named as one of the top 3 players.
Yeah, that's confusing. I'm actually curious, who were the Colts' top 3 players? Because as good as Jonathan Taylor might be the best running back in football, I think I would not list him as one of the top 3 because I would have Darius Leonard, who's arguably the best linebacker in football, and DeForest Buckner. Probably you can make an argument for him being the second best interior defensive lineman in football, ahead of the running back.
Well, you're talking just pure best player, not necessarily most valuable. Forget all that kind of stuff. And when you've got a guy who did 50% more yards than the next guy, and Jonathan Taylor, he's going to be on there. Yeah. Quentin Nelson, 3-time Pro Bowler, or 4-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, and then Darius Leonard. By grades, Michael Pittman was one of those guys. They've got Stephon Gilmore now, so they had plenty of people to choose for. But it was Darius Leonard, Quentin Nelson, and Jonathan Taylor.
That's almost too bad because DeForest Buckner is amazing, and I feel like good interior defensive linemen not named Aaron Donald do not get enough credit. Then DeForest Buckner is definitely one of those dudes. So keep it going. And here, Richard giving me a hard time saying, see, the E equals Europe, the L equals London equals British Empire. Thank you very much. They both kind of look a little bit like E's, but I'll keep working on it. I think I'm going to blame this one on the coffee. Haven't had enough yet. Stayed up too late watching Stranger Things with the missus or the.
You have to watch. You have to be old enough to remember Laverne and Shirley. Laverne always had an L on her sweater, so that looks like the L. That looks like the cursive L for that. Just remember that one. And the E looks more. It looks like an E. They both kind of look like E's, but one is definitely
an L.
We're not gonna confuse that with the other one with an L.
No. Yep. You're right. You're right on that one. Thank you so much. We have Gabe coming in saying, morning, lads. Thank you, Gabe. Also, Tommy coming in saying Browning, I think, is moving to edge because Evero has to find value from this linebacker core, and he doesn't play an linebacker often on defense. So, let's get into that. We have Mandingo also coming in from Ecuador. Good to see you. And also Jerry. Hopefully we have that chanting this year with Jerry Judy killing it. So
that'd be kind of cool, actually. I'd love a Jerry chant at Mile High. Make it happen, Jerry Judy. Make it happen. You make it happen. I want to come on off Jerry.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be awesome.
Would be so fun. Yeah.
All right.
Get the chair. No,
Hey, we're going to open it, after his first touchdown. We're going to open our next show that way, just to try and make it a thing.
Yep, absolutely. And Jose coming for us both here, saying sorry, but man, you've got a Peyton Manning forehead. Me too. I mean, we're the five heads for your morning. So we're gonna lean into it here. It's all this useless football knowledge packed in
I
here.
was a wicked header of the football, though, of playing soccer. So lots of room to aim for. It looked worse though when I didn't put my hair up off of it and just had bangs going across it. It was better. So
you need some pictures
I could
of
actually
that.
sell this space. So what do we want to put across here? It's if we need sponsorships or in placement. What do you call it? Products. To just put in there. Just it could say Cafe Brit right across here as a billboard.
That'd be great. Tattooed foreheads. They already got, what is it, Mattress King or whatever
Green
for the
screen
Broncos
it. That's
jersey.
what I could green screen it and then run a scroll.
That'd be
interesting.
You're onto something. But Mark Schrader coming in saying his wife is not doing super great, sitting here at a spine specialist now. Well, hopefully they figure things out and gets a little bit better there. Thinking about your wife, buddy, and prayers and positive vibes sent your way, and to you and your wife, Mark. Yeah, spine injuries. That's not good. That's about as tedious and painful as it gets. So
hopefully a slip disc or something. Easily correctable, painful, but recovery on the horizon.
100%. Steve coming in saying good morning from BC, British Columbia. If you're in British Columbia, say hello. Let me see, that's north. Waving to you, Steve. Hope you're doing well. We appreciate you. The notorious GLP, Gary Leeds Palmer, good to see you. Saying, hey, Nick and Scott, my favorite pair to draw. Seriously, I really appreciate you guys. We appreciate you, Gary. Good morning to you. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully your wife is doing well as well, man. All the wives having some issues falling apart here. That's typically the men that are supposed to be falling apart. What's going on?
They're out there working while we're in here doing, Broncos stuff.
That's,
they're hurting their backs from carrying us men. That's what's going on.
That's 100% correct. Peter Middleton saying Ecuador to Cambodia, Broncos country is truly international. Absolutely got everybody coming here. And that's one of the cool things about the morning show as well, right? We definitely can hit on the European and Asia market more than the evening show. So that's awesome. Also, we got Tommy saying, I want Manscapes printed in red on Scott's forehead. There we go. That's prime real estate right there, buddy. Let's do it. Ethan liked that one. Bama X, good morning to you. And here we go. My card is gonna be messed up by my star streak. Oh, that's we appreciate you. Antonio Jones saying Stranger Things is great this season. I'm only 3 episodes in because we were out exploring the Olympic Peninsula when it came out, but enjoying it so far. And
Lawrence still came in with stars. Let me hit this real quick. Lawrence came in with stars. So your streak is intact as far as we are concerned. So, and then something else kind of cool. Peter Middleton comes in. There's a badge on. He's a Facebook supporter. Not this one. This one says, that you love this 1 year subscriber anniversary button. So it does show up there. 1 year, it says 12-month subscriber. Very cool, Peter. That means you must have been first in line when Chad and the boys took the Huddle Up Pod, Mile High Huddle Facebook page, started offering different things. So thank you so much. Very cool.
Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate you. And also Richard asking, trying to help. What does the $S stand for, by the way? I don't know if it's that. I honestly don't know. Cha-ching. That's what it stands for.
I'm not going to read it. I don't feel like being audited. But I think me and Shackelford are of similar vein here.
Do you get the Rusty Shackelford? Steve even sounds like Dale from King of the Hill there. Rusty Shackelford. Let's get into it. So we have some news, I guess, not breaking news, but stuff that's been talked about. And there's just been more and more information coming out that has been reaffirming it. And that is the Broncos' 3rd round pick from 2021, Baron Browning. Sounds like he is making the full-on transition to edge this season. We had Nathaniel Hackett talked about it yesterday, and we had Baron Browning actually take the podium yesterday, which interesting they put Baron Browning on the podium. It's always worthy, I think, taking notes of who is being put up front there, and seeing Baron Browning get the spotlight on, I guess it is day 5 of OTAs, a little bit down the pecking order, but still he's up there. So Baron Browning moving to edge. Just initial thoughts off of that, I mean, it's again, like I said, it's been talked about for a bit, but we've been trying to understand because a lot of people, including myself, thought he looked pretty good at linebacker last year. And on paper, at least, it looks like you have a lot of bodies at edge already.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced it's a full-time move, though. I
Yeah.
still think you're going to see him in both positions depending on situations. You know, Hackett came out and made it sound like this is what we're doing. But that also sounds like it would be news to Baron Browning. He came out yesterday, first question. I kind of wanted to make the move, and they felt the same way. I don't know if this is something just for this period for right now, but I'm making the most of it and working on it, just perfecting my craft every day. So again, find ways to get your best players on the field. I still feel like that's what this is about, because if he's your best inside linebacker, well, he's not your best edge rusher. Okay. If Bradley Chubb and Randy Gregory are out there and healthy, those are your two best edge rushers. This is insurance. We've got Bradley Chubb on a 1-year deal. We've got Randy Gregory, who is risky. This is insurance. We know what we can do with him at linebacker. Now, let's see if there's other ways we can get our best players on the field. So I'm still not 100% convinced that this is a full-time move, and it doesn't sound like he is either. But yes, this is happening right now for sure, because again, I'm going to call it's a tremendous insurance policy. Plus, I love Jonas Griffith. I've said it 100 times, and he's been our silent one, and it sounds like he's starting to make a little noise also as a real possibility for playing time.
Yeah, absolutely. When Baron Browning came out, I actually had very big questions about what his role would be, and thought he might end up being an edge rusher given his explosiveness and his tools that he had, and how good he looked there at the Senior Bowl as well. First, we got Colby C. Collier coming in here with these stars over on Facebook. Thank you so much, Colby. Hope you had a good Memorial Day weekend. Hey, it's Friday Junior today, or Friday Eve. So let's celebrate. Weekend's going to be here before you know it. Everybody, hope you enjoyed your 3-day weekend. The way it works for me at my job is that we do enjoy the 3-day weekends, but then they pack in all the visits for the weekend 4 days instead of 5 days, and it's just chaos for me. But it's okay. It's been a busy long week. I'm exhausted, but this is a little bit of reprieve for me. So we've been enjoying talking football with you guys. But Browning, really interested to see his role there. Interested to see how he looks at the 3-4 outside linebacker at this level. I always thought it was a possibility when they drafted him, but last year I thought it was going to be more so, okay, he can't really process the information at linebacker. We can see he's an athlete, but his hips are turned the wrong way. He's not doing well with his run fits. Let's simplify it for him, put him closer to the line of scrimmage and have him be more of an attacking guy. And that didn't seem to be the case last season for him, in my opinion. I thought he looked pretty well, all things considered, at that linebacker spot. So to see him move now, that's what the head scratcher is for me. Because originally I thought it was equal possibilities he'd go either direction. But
and maybe he would have if he had gotten a preseason last year. You would have seen some cross training last year, and that's what he mentioned about. I wish I had this entire time last year to get my body right, for lack of anything else. Just to, as he used the phrase, to callous his body over, so he wasn't dealing with niggling injuries all season. But again, as Travis comes in, he says maybe Denver wants their versions of Parsons. I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? But I think it's a combination of several things. One, you feel good about your linebacker position. Two, you've got big risks at the edge position. Three, he's one of your most athletic players. How can we make sure we're getting him on the field? All of that makes sense. And I don't think this is a permanent move, and you will see him play multiple roles. That's what I think. I'm looking forward to finding out what happens, because again, he's one of your most athletic players. Find a way to get him on the field. I think I said that. That's what it looks like is happening to me right now.
Yeah, and definitely there was arguments about Parsons versus Browning as far as the premium cost draft player versus getting him day 2, and the Broncos went the day 2 route with getting Patrick Surtain. So hopefully that all works out for them. But a few more things on Browning here, just digging through the archives from when he was drafted on my end. But Peter Middleton first saying Browning is better at edge. Hopefully so. That'd be great. Look at the questions at edge versus the potential stability at linebacker. Jewell isn't getting moved. Sorry, Ethan. And Griffith and Singleton have been brought in for a reason. Yeah, we'll get into the Griffith Singleton discussion here in a second, because that's the other part of this, and Scott kind of touched on it a little bit already, but we'll get into it. We also have, it's good to see Jeremy in the house here. Jeremy is in jury duty. Where's the comment here? Yep, happy Thursday, jury duty day 3. Trying to listen while I can. Well, thank you for joining us. It's a lot of fun here. Also, we got David Vasquez coming in here saying, "What about Alexander Johnson?" Talking about the linebacker group here. Any thoughts on that one, Scott? I know that we kind of debated on that before. If he wants to come in for cheap, and they think Alex Singleton and Jonas
Someone's got to
Griffith,
go.
right now you only have 3 linebackers out. Jonas Griffith can go. Excuse me. Justin Strnad can go. See ya. Who cares?
I kind of already moved him on in my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not coming in to take his spot.
No.
So Jewell, Griffith, Singleton, one of those 3 would be benched at worst, at best, benched.
Yeah.
So Alexander Johnson for me is a no. Would have happened already, and he's holding out for a bigger paycheck. He was a little bit later start to the game, so he hasn't earned the way some other players that are his age group and experience have. So he's going to be looking for a bigger paycheck, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if he's still out there and you can have him for cheap, I don't see what the issue would be. And also, you paid Alex Singleton so little that I can't imagine his dead cap would be big. And let's say Alexander Johnson beats out Singleton, and then Singleton's cut. Okay, la-di-da, you're out what, like 1.5 million or something?
Someone's got to go.
Yeah,
that's one of those 3 would have to go for AJ to come back.
It would probably be Singleton, given how the contract is set up and everything. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be against it. It would have to be very cheap. But I think you could definitely get some value there. Also, if you're looking to be a team that's going to be sending guys or dropping guys a lot, Alexander Johnson's one of the, maybe not one of the best, but he was a really good A gap blitzer for the Broncos there, because he was not very good in coverage, but man, at his size, length, and power, he was amazing coming downhill as a mug. So would be awesome to see what he's going to do there in that defense. I feel a little bit bad for Alexander Johnson still being out there too, because he was fine. He has limitations, but he was fine. Oops, sorry about that. We're clicking that one off. We have so let's keep getting into it. And Elias saying yes to AJ Johnson. That would be great to see him. I
just don't know that it's a fit right now for him financially or for the Denver Broncos. That's all.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be against it. He's a good player for sure. I don't see it happening.
Yep.
Just like if the Broncos had gotten a running back in the draft, we wouldn't have seen Melvin. I wouldn't expect Melvin Gordon to come back. It's full. The room's full right now for what AJ Johnson's going to want out of his career.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I do not disagree with you. I'm always for adding more talent if you can, but you have to see what it looks like. Yeah, and we have Peter Milton saying Johnson is waiting for injuries. Don't forget his age in comparison to others, because he did get a late start to the game. Yeah, we'll definitely see there. We have Diamond Rattler coming in too. Hope you're doing well, Diamond, saying boom, let's go. Seen Diamond on Facebook, seen him on Twitch, and seen him on now YouTube. So Diamond's coming in, supporting us. I'm sure clicking like on all of those areas. So we appreciate you.
And naturally, we make a move for Muma. That's what needs to happen, as Ethan says. Muma.
There we go.
Do I look fat in this? No. How do I look? Great. Is she prettier than me? No. Who do we need on the team? Muma. It's just a reflex. You just say it. Muma.
Got to do it. Awesome. Well, we also got Nick coming in saying PS2 picked off Russell in practice. Yes, he did. Also, I saw that that was 2 days ago. Yesterday, we had Michael Ojemudia had an interception, and Justin Simmons had an interception. So keeping track on it. I don't know who the exact quarterback was in those ones, but worth noting there, as much as anything is worth noting in OTAs. So getting back to Browning, I had a few old tweets here just from when he was coming out and talking about his possibility at edge. And I have a quote here from Mike Renner, who is over at Pro Football Focus, who's got a lot of connections in the league. I think he's the main draft analyst over there at Pro Football Focus, or lead, whatever they want to call his title. Said that last year, this was a tweet from May 8th, 2021, saying that multiple teams in the NFL think Browning winds up as a stand-up edge for his best position in the NFL. Browning also said that he is more comfortable at edge, so he's going to get a chance at both of them next year. And also just a lot of talk about Browning's ability as a stand-up edge in a defense where he can play a jack sort of role, where he can either come and attack downhill or be a drop into coverage player from that 3-4 Sam alignment. So definitely there's been some movement there in the past, but it's happening now, and also talking about Browning before the draft, saying he was more comfortable at the edge rather than the off ball, kind of goes hand in hand with him saying yesterday in his press conference that he wanted to make the move to that stand-up edge rusher position as well versus the stack linebacker position.
Yeah. Moving on that one. Oh, here we go. Here's a silent one. Here he comes in. I was actually looking at, I apologize. Appreciate you, Jacob. I was actually looking, I got distracted by this question from Tyler Rogers. I know it's early, but who's on the bubble for being cut on the DBs? And it's tough just because there's going to be 90 guys on the roster right now,
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the roster. I'm like, I don't even know who some of these guys are.
Easier to say who stays.
Yeah. Bless Austin, is that somebody that you're thinking is going to stay? Faion Hicks, rookie. So maybe Dion Lewis, Jaquan McMillan, another rookie. That ends up being a little tough for those guys, for the corners.
Yeah. I mean,
but Jacob, again, thank you for coming in with the support as always, my friend.
Yeah. Appreciate you. Absolutely. And we also had a question here from PD Swag about who's going to make it. Is Ojemudia going to make the roster? Yes. Ojemudia is going to make the roster. Ojemudia is going to be pushing for playing time this year. I mean, heck, he could even end up being the dime backer. They were trying to put him there last year, competing with Caden Stearns and Patrick Surtain there last offseason as that box defensive back kind of look. And Ojemudia has got a decent, he's got a decent frame for that cornerback spot. So he's definitely going to make the roster. I would say he's about as safe as anybody in that regard. You have Damari Mathis, Ojemudia, Quan Williams, Patrick Surtain, and Ronald Darby. Those guys are safe. After that, question marks across the board. And at safety, I would say that who is safe at safety? Kareem Jackson, Justin Simmons, Caden Stearns, Delaren Turner-Yell. After that, question marks. PJ Locke, maybe. J.R. Reed, maybe. Jamar Johnson, maybe. We'll see. But those are the ones that I think are pretty darn safe.
Yeah, so there's just a lot of guys. Remember, I mean, there's 40 players that aren't going to make the active roster on this. So there's going to be a lot of cuts that come in. And a lot of these guys that are brought in, they're just brought in, safe, but they're camp bodies, and they're going to earn a paycheck for a little while and hopefully be able to show enough to land a job somewhere else, but they're not meant to be on the 53, and that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. You need the bodies out there to get the work in.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You're correct on that one. So back to Browning. We talked about it. Where would you put him in the pecking order of the edge room right now? Because it sounds like third. So you think he is going to be over Nick Benito, who they just drafted in the second round. You think he's going to be over Jonathan Cooper, who played decently well last year, and Malik Reed, who we're talking about trade bait here. People need to be traded. I think Malik Reed is the one who, if you can get anything for him, given he only has 1 year of control left, et cetera, you'd be very happy to move him out for a pick. But
careful with that. Careful with that thing. Third. So if I've got 3rd and 12 and Gregory and Chubb need a breather, I might go Benito first. But if it's the 4th series in the second quarter and I'm running out there on 1st and 10 and Randy Gregory or Bradley Chubb need a breather, and I'm going to play, every down type, Browning would be my next guy out, more than likely. I think the versatility is there. The strength is there off the edge. He's going to get plenty of work there. He's bigger and more athletic than Jonathan Cooper. Just needs a little bit of experience. We know he's going to hold up to the run better than Benito right now. Yeah. And I think he's just overall a better football player than Malik Reed. So I would put him 3rd. Honestly, I would.
Wow.
Which is one of the reasons why you want to put him there. Now the question is he first at linebacker? At one of the 2 linebacker spots, inside linebacker spots, if you're playing 2 inside. Yeah.
You probably will still see some snaps of him in there in alignment. Maybe I think some of it's going to look more of I keep saying mug. Do you guys know what a mug is? Like, you can't answer me, but it's kind of when a linebacker stands up like directly over the A gap of the center. So rather than playing at the second level, they're lined up at the line of scrimmage, ready to press that gap and put that center in a bind. Because if they're coming, the center is going to obviously have to react because it's from like point blank versus dropping into coverage. And then the center is going to have to analyze, and the guard also where the pressure is coming from. So that's something you could see a bit from him. And some of the more, now that it sounds like he's making the full transition to edge, I was curious about him playing more of a hybrid position at that, and some names that stuck out. Micah Parsons is one of them that people have mentioned, but other names that have been really good as far as a hybrid linebacker edge. One of them is Leonard Floyd has done a lot as kind of a hybrid position like that. Bruce Irvin, another one, kind of playing a 4-3 when they're in 4-3 base, playing that salmon and then walking down to edge. And some more recent ones are Jamie Collins, Kyle Van Noy, and Anthony Barr. So definitely some versatile pieces. This isn't, groundbreaking for the Broncos with Baron Browning. There's been some versatile edge rushers / stack linebackers that do a little bit of both. And depending on what's needed in personnel wise or the defense year to year, get moved around. But I am a little bit surprised to hear you say Baron Browning at 3. I am eager to see the camp battle between him and specifically Nick Bonito. And guys, before the draft, I was not as high on Nick Bonito. I talked myself into it some, mainly because his twitch and his bend are rare, and he fell to the end of the second round for a reason, right? You're not going to be able to get a first round caliber pass rusher there. But Browning versus Nick Bonito, I don't think is as obviously going to be Nick Bonito. And obviously you said Browning is going to win that battle between those two.
For an every down guy early in the season,
yeah.
But in 3 years, maybe not. But for, again, if it's 1st and 10, if it's 2nd and 8, then I want Browning out there. I do. If it's 3rd and 12, I'd probably go Bonito. He's a little bit more explosive. He's got more experience rushing the passer. A lot of those guys you mentioned to me, I know Anthony Barr and Leonard Floyd and Bruce Irvin, those guys are all a little bit longer as far as, height, weight, type guys than Browning. Browning, man, he's got the prototypical inside linebacker build. That's part of the question. It's like, why are we doing this again? Because he could be so good at inside linebacker, but at the top of the show, we answered all the reasons why you're doing it. It's because you've got questions at edge and you've got a really explosive athlete in Browning. You want to find a way to make sure you're getting him on the field, especially if you're using a scheme that's not going to prioritize multiple inside linebackers.
Yeah, no, you're 100% correct there. And Browning, he tested like a freak at the combine. You guys know that, but just putting him in mock draftable right now and seeing what his athletic measurements are. And while he is small for an edge linebacker, 6'3", 245 pounds is only in the 6th percentile. His testing is elite. 1.56 10-yard split, 94th percentile. 40-yard dash of 4.56 in the 94th percentile. Vertical jump of 40 inches is 96th percentile. Broad jump of 130 inches is 97th percentile. 3-cone, 6.78, 98th percentile. 20-yard shuttle, 4.22 is 88th percentile. I mean, his spider graph outside of the size is incredible because of the athleticism there. Better than Nick Bonito. Doesn't mean he has the twitch. Doesn't mean he has the burst on tape that Nick Bonito does. Need to see that actually play out. But the athletic traits do project him to be a pretty darn good edge rusher. The one that I have a little bit of, I wish he was a little bit better at this, the length. Only 32nd percentile in arm length, but with the athleticism, versatility, could be fine there.
Well, in Brooklyn, official music company says they better sign AJ back then. Alexander Johnson. Actually, for me, it says the opposite. If you had questions at linebacker and thought you needed to bring another guy in, you wouldn't be experimenting with Baron Browning at edge. Mm-hmm. So this, to me, is another indicator that, hey, we're okay at the linebacker position. We're okay at inside linebacker. We want to make sure we can get Browning out there. So to me, it's another indictment on the linebacker room. We're good. We're good there.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I'm going to have to start wrapping it up here, but Peter coming in saying, so let's say after 4 games, Browning has 3 sacks, Bonito 3, Chubb 3. Is that a negative for Chubb? What does Chubb need to get a new contract? Every single sack tells a story. So it would depend on what those look like. You could have Bonito getting 3 cleanup sacks on 3rd and 15 to close out games, where Chubb sacks were in the first half on like first downs. Like those sacks are harder to come by. So I think it's Brandon Thorne, who does a lot of good trench work as an analyst, does like a true sack statistic where it's not he watches every single sack individually and assesses whether they were just, clean up part of like coverage or bad play by the offensive line versus one where the pass rusher really wins. And that'd be something that every single sack will tell a different story. So sorry to give a nuanced answer to that, but your numbers are so small there that you probably want to see what every single individual one looks like.
Well, another part I'm looking at that, Peter, is I started doing the math on that. I'm like, that's 9 sacks in 4 games. So multiply it by 4 and call it 36, round up for an extra game. And you're at 38 sacks for 3 guys. You're not complaining about anything. Yeah. You're pretty happy, and you probably want to bring all of those guys back. but that would be those 38 sacks would have ranked you, middle of the pack last year. The Broncos only had 36 all of last year. So after 4 games, I'm not expecting those 3 guys, or really any 3 guys, to have 3 sacks apiece. Spread them out a little bit more, because again, they're not the only guys. You're not going to just get all your sacks from 3 players. So, that said, we were talking about a little bit more fun attacking type defense.
Yeah.
The Steelers had 55 sacks, the Vikings with 51, the Rams with 50. I want to see the Broncos up in that area a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be more fun. Pressure wins games, and the Broncos were dreadful at pressure last season. But being able to pressure with 4, though, that's man.
That's how you become a really top tier defense.
Yep.
Is if you can get it with your front 4. And, if you're running a 3-4, you've got 5 on the line, 1 drops into coverage, however you're rushing 4. If you can get 4 and get pressure on the quarterback, you will be an elite defense.
100%. That's what they're going for. But don't want to do it with just a static front. So that's why you have this little bit more simulated pressure world, which Benito, Chubb, all these guys, Gregory, and Browning all point to that. So we're going to get on out of here pretty soon. But we have Tommy Simmers coming in saying if they're comfortable moving Browning to edge, is that then is that telling for Josie? I've heard he's had been a really good camp. I think it is telling for Josie. And Ethan, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to cover your ears here. You can get in your special teams comment now, but Josie is the glue of that linebacker room right now. But we knew that going in. I think this has more to do with, there it is. He's killing special teams, Tommy. We knew it would come. But I think this has much more to do with how excited they are about Jonas Griffith. And I kept hearing, telling you guys on the show, you probably can find 100 clips of it, but some contacts with the team kept saying, Jonas Griffith, this guy's really impressive to us. He's been standing out, and we saw it last year, limited sample size, but to close the season, he looks really damn good at the second level of the defense as a stack linebacker, still extremely young, also a height, weight, speed freak athlete as well. Undrafted free agent, but undrafted because of his path to the league. Was homeschooled until his senior year of high school, only got a scholarship offer to Indiana State, and then which plays, it's very small school football, and went undrafted. But the athleticism, the tools, and the tape last year, limited sample size, but the tape last year, on top of the buzz coming from Dove Valley, all really stands out.
Yeah, I was just thinking, what good comes out of Indiana State? Obviously, Larry Legend
Bird
came out of there. One of my good friends played at Indiana State. So
cool.
Near and dear to the heart. There's more than one way to get there, for sure. People develop at different levels. It usually happens on the lines of scrimmage.
Yeah.
I joke that the skill players are born and linemen are built. When they're going through Monday Night Football, you'll get to the skill players. You'll be like LSU, Alabama, Ohio State, USC. Then they go across the line of scrimmage and like Central Michigan, Indiana State, Alcorn State, just all of these, the schools that are just, again, they come from different times. Look at your own team and go across the trenches and then go across the skill players. And it's mostly big schools at the skill positions.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And final bit here, Peter Middleton, before we get on out of here. Singleton, any news? My assumption here with Alex Singleton is he's a very high floor player for them. Obviously, he's led the Eagles in tackles 2 years in a row, and he can come in if the stack linebacker spot proves to be too much for Jonas Griffith or Josie Jewell has injury. You can bring in Singleton. You kind of know what you're going to get from him. He's not really going to be much of a difference maker, but he's also not going to kill you from being in the wrong spot. He's going to find his way around the football and make some plays for you in that regard. So Singleton, the third
programming note just to close us out before Nick gets us out of here is Travis comes in with some stars and says, great podcast this morning. Looking forward to tomorrow morning with Carl Mecklenburg on the Legends of Mile High podcast. That starts a half hour earlier. So that is 7:00 Mountain, 9:00 Eastern. So you can 9 a.m. So you can watch it on demand, obviously, and get your questions in after the fact if you'd like to. And then tonight on the Huddle Up Pod will be Zach and I at 6:00 Mountain Time.
Yep, absolutely. And finally, we do have Heath coming in saying, hello, Nick and Scott. Just caught the end of the show this morning. Go Broncos country. Thank you so much, Heath. We appreciate you. We're going to get on out of here, guys. We appreciate the heck out of you. Make sure you're following Scott on Twitter. Scott is at Scout Kennedy. I am at Nick Kendell, MHH. Also, make sure you're following us at MHI. Wait, this is the wrong one. What's going on here? That's wrong. Follow us at BFB_.
That's what's going on.
There we go. Wow. We got the L there we got 50 Londons coming in. Oh, it's pounds, actually. Excuse me. Coming in saying, great show, gents. Have a great weekend, everyone. Hashtag BFB, hashtag the closer. Thank you so much, Ethan. We appreciate you. And you're not going to get a Josie Jewel special teams comment out of me, but anything else, let me know. We appreciate you, Ethan. Hopefully everything is going well for you over there in London. Make sure you guys are following us at BFB_pod, as well as at Mile High Huddle. If you haven't done so yet, check out the merch store at huddleuppod.com. Check out the gear. We got all the hats in the world. We got the fine coffee mugs. We have a lot of people in here saying that Broncos for Breakfast is their favorite duo, which is very nice. But if you support us, make sure you go out there, get the Broncos for Breakfast mug with where they actually spelled my name right, which is shocking. Nobody ever does.
And, they screwed up mine, though. No, I'm just kidding.
Who's Scoot?
They screwed up your first name.
It's Scoot. No, yeah, no, get the mug, send us a picture on Twitter, Instagram, wherever, support us, and that would be really helpful. Also, make sure you join our Facebook community at facebook.com/Mile High Huddle and facebook.com/Mile High Huddle Pod. And as the ticker says underneath, if you guys haven't done so yet on YouTube, please, please, please subscribe, like, and share. We'd appreciate that so much. And also, stars coming in from Colby before we get on out of here. CCC saying, nice of you, Colby. We appreciate the support. Obviously, there's a lot of different great content producers in general in the Broncos sphere, football sphere, and at Mile High Huddle. But Scott and I really do appreciate when you guys come in and support these morning shows for Broncos for Breakfast. And we'll be live again next Tuesday. And I guess I won't see you guys again until next Tuesday. So I get a little break now. This is great. MHI on Wednesday nights now. But we will see you guys over on, we need a word count between Nick and Kim. Do both of us just kind of... Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I talk very fast. I listen to my podcast in 2 times speed. So that's probably one of the reasons that happens. A lot of my intake of content is very fast indeed. But we can maybe have a rap battle. It's fast, bro. I do talk fast. We appreciate you guys, though. We're going to get on out of here. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share on YouTube. And you guys have a great rest of your day. Scott, what's the rest of your day looking like?
I don't know. I feel like there's something going on today. There's always something going on today. Got a little softball practice and then a little baseball practice. And then the tournaments, softball and baseball tournaments kick off on the weekend. So it's actually fairly quiet, I think, right now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's, we'll take that. Yeah, I do talk fast, especially getting on out of here. It's like it's the end of the ad read where, may cause heartburn, anal sleep, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Death. Oh, what did you say? Death? No. We'll go back to the person having a great time because they had dry
the side effects are worse than the freaking disease.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know how anybody sells anything like that anymore with all the liability concerns. Good Lord.
Sign here. Don't read. Sign here. But we appreciate you guys. Make sure you're tuning in tonight for the Huddle Up podcast. And also make sure you guys are tuning in tomorrow morning for Carl Mecklenburg over with Thomas, which is going to be an absolute hoot. Don't let Carl Mecklenburg hear my linebacker takes. That's all I can say because I don't want him coming for me. No,
he could just move to a different position though. We played 7 of them.
That's true. Talk about, man. I hope Thomas asks him about some Browning questions as well. But also Travis saying switch to decaf, Nick. Ha, good joke. Never happened. And Jeremy saying watch Top Gun. It's on the list. Got to finish Stranger Things first, but it's gonna happen. It is gonna happen.
The Stranger Things episodes are as long as Top Gun.
They are about an hour and 20
About an hour
each.
20.
The thing is, I don't want spoilers from Stranger Things. If it's at this point, I kind of know
that's what happens when you follow too many people on Twitter. Nobody I follow talks about Stranger Things. Nobody.
I'm just going to start tweeting about it now.
Well, and I also use multiple accounts for my different interests. I use different accounts. So I have a soccer account. I've got my regular account. I've got a Falcons account. So I separate those, so it makes it easier. If I don't want to find out what the score of the game was, I just don't go on that one.
You guys should see Scott's anime account. It's pretty darn cool.
Off the hook.
Off the hook. All right, guys. We appreciate you. We will see you later. You guys have a great rest of your week, and happy Thursday to you. Choose kindness. Choose compassion. Go Broncos.